In this film, the heroine's name is Lucy. Her friend is a drug dealer and a thief. He continues to do wrong. He's carrying a briefcase, and he tells Lucy, "Take this back." He says, pointing out to a hotel, "Give this briefcase to someone going into that hotel. We will get $1,000 after doing only this work." Lucy says, $1,000 for this little work? She refused to do it. Then her friend snaps a handcuff around his wrist, while the other side of the handcuff is secured with a bag that cannot be opened. He tells her, "You'll have to go inside." She makes her way inside and informs the receptionist about those she is here to meet. And they come outside. Her friend receives a gunshot when he is looking at her from outside. And he is dead. Seizing Lucy, they take Lucy inside. After taking her into the room, they make Lucy sit on the chair. They ask her to open this briefcase. Speaking it, they hide. Lucy also asks, "Is there any destructive thing in it? Why has everyone hidden?" They reply, "The person who gave you this briefcase is unreliable." Then they tell him a code of lock, which is the requirement of unlocking the briefcase. She unlocks the briefcase after setting its code. There are 4 packets of CPH4 drugs. They ask, "What is inside it?" Lucy replies, "There are 4 blue packets filled with a type of powder." They ask Lucy, coming in front of her, "Will you serve us?" But Lucy says, "No." As a result, a man punches her face and she loses her consciousness. She awakens to find herself being operated on by someone. Her stomach is exposed. She thinks as someone has removed her kidney or another body part. Then a man tells him, "There is no removal of any body part. One of the 4 packets has been sewed in your abdomen. And you will have to go there where we send you. This packet will be removed from your abdomen, releasing you." Now Lucy does not want to work for them, but she has no option. Because they are drug smugglers and don't think before taking the life of anyone. 3 more men are brought in. And the remaining drug packets are sewed into their stomachs. They inform them, "You will all have to give these drug packets, reaching a place. Afterward, you are free. If anyone tried to cheat with us, we have your family addresses. We will end them." They are taken separately after covering their faces with cloth. There are 2 standing men before Lucy when a cloth is uncovered from her mouth. They possess her locked away while one of them tries to shame Lucy. When Lucy tries to flee, she is defeated in the stomach by that person. It was the place where the drug was fastened, so that the packet might be opened in her tummy. This drug is much too dangerous. On the other side, a scientist is shown providing a presentation on the topic of the brain. He asserts that up until this point, man alone has used 10% of his brain. He changed this world using this 10%. He stepped on the moon, invented aircraft and mobile. Afterward, he says, there is a thing which uses 20% of its brain, and it is a dolphin. They are intelligent, and using 20% of their brain, they also communicate with one another. He tells later, human beings will be able to know about their whole body if they use 20% of their brain. Contrarily, Lucy's mind is more activated because of blowing up the packet of drugs in her stomach. Now her brain has started working at 20%. She immediately sits on the chair. And the same person comes there who had kicked her abdomen. Lucy is at ease because of her hyperactive brain. She does not want to get more harm, showing any insensible act. She hits a blow to that man when he comes near her. Then, taking the placed gun on the table, she kills him, leaving that place. Then she moves to the hospital. The reason to come here is as a drug packet has blown up in her stomach. The packet is still not blown up completely in her stomach. There is still something in the packet. Doctors are operating a patient there. Observing everything on the screen, she kills that man, taking out her gun. Doctor says, "Be relaxed. I start operation." During the operation, she reveals a lot to her mother over the phone. Her mother is surprised, saying, How can you remember such things? Because she is telling the memories of her childhood when she was below 1 year. Lucy's mind is more activated, triggering all memories. Now Lucy disconnects the call. And doctors have taken out that packet from her stomach. She asks the doctor, how much drug has been left in this packet? Doctor replies, half packet. Then she asks, how much time will the remaining drug affect my body? The doctor says, at first, I should know about it. She replies, CPH4 drug. The doctor is shocked to hear it. Doctor says it is like an atomic bomb. And I had also heard that someone is going to make it synthetic substance. But it is incredible for me to think as it has been made. I am unable to believe that you are alive if CPH4 has blown up in your body. Now Lucy moves to that person who had sewed the drug in her abdomen. She asks, where have you sent the other 3 packets? Tell me. But he does not reveal. Then placing her hand on his brain side, she gets awareness about the location where the packets have been sent. The countries' names are Rome, Paris, and America. Afterward, Lucy leaves for her house. There is her friend. She asks her friend, may I use your computer? She searches through the internet about that scientist who has been researching on the brain. She says to the professor through a call, I want to talk to you. I have read the content of your research. The professor laughs, saying, whole research? You know how many pages have been written by me? She says, 6,734 pages. I have drugs in my stomach and my mind has more activated. The professor is shocked. She says, I am using 28% of the brain of my body. I have maximum of 24 hours for my survival, I will die soon. And I will be able to use 100% brain of mine. I can control my body with others mobile and different phones now. Lucy says, I don't feel pain. I have no desire. She tells, physics, mathematics and science knowledge is penetrating in me. What should I do? Professor says, transmit this knowledge to the coming generation. After that, Lucy says to Professor, I will come to you within 24 hours. Now Lucy moves to take the other 3 packets. Meanwhile, Lucy's superpower brain is also shown, as she makes the others fly in the air. Here a police officer supports her. Taking the drug packets from them, she is ready to visit the professor. Professor and his companions are waiting for her there. Lucy reveals the information about mathematics and science, leaving them astonished. At the same time, the owners of drug packets arrive there. The police officer says, I will not be able to stop them for a long time, because they are armed. Lucy says it is a time of valediction. I will have to absorb the other 3 packets into my stomach. Professor asks her, are you thinking it right on your part? Lucy replies, yes. Then I will be able to use 100% of my brain. Later, I will give you my possessed store of knowledge after making it a supercomputer, so that people may use it. Then she absorbs all 3 packets into her body, and her brain begins to work fast. And she transforms all present electronic machines there into a supercomputer. Now Lucy uses 99% of her brain. She starts space-time traveling, and time is under her control. She travels into the past. First of all, she encounters the ancient people and later dinosaurs, and the first man on this planet. Then she observes the creation of the world. Lucy comes back. Then a hooligan who had sewed drug in her abdomen comes at the backside to shoot her. Lucy is disappeared as he shoots her. Meanwhile, a police officer kills that vagabond, coming there. Going to follow that, Lucy's handmade supercomputer introduces the professor with a black flash drive. Lucy had rescued the whole of her knowledge on this road going. Where are you? The officer asks questions. Suddenly, he receives a voicemail that reads, I am everywhere, and